this one energizer is like standing in line, and the guy at the back of the line, he's showing a picture, right? And he has to act out the picture, right? And then he taps the next guy, and the next guy has to act out the picture. See, if you're accountable, right, you do your best to act out what the last guy told you, because it's like a secret message. It's very important, so you got to deliver it, right? If you're not accountable, you will mess up that message. And that exercise also has to do with communications. How well can you communicate what you've been told? How well can you follow directions, follow directives and whatnot? So along with the community, right, which my community is the best community. So I'll tell you why, right? So, all right, 2 instances. So one, we had 2 of our big brothers dropped out. And so I call them big brothers because when we first started out, those 2 were the ones that stood out the most. They were the ones that, while at first we were timid, you know, because it's a new program and you don't know each other, those 2 are the ones that stood out and started talking to everybody, started helping out everybody, started reaching out. And so they became big brothers, right? But then they dropped out. And our whole community, as a community, we wrote a letter in defense of them, right? Even though we knew that they have committed like the biggest type of error, we knew that what they meant to us was a lot, and I think it was unprecedented for like a whole community to speak to speak to YearUp about bringing them back. So like that was just big for me. That bond between us, and we also have activities. Gosh, I forgot them. But one of the other important things are mentorship, guest speaker, and student services, right? So I'm gonna start with guest speaker. Every Friday, we have guest speakers coming, and these guys are like not your average Joes. Like 2 weeks ago, we had a CIO from, where was it?
Texas?
Yes, a CIO, Chief Information Officer, come to speak to us. So the man takes time from work to come and speak to us, and that is amazing. Like in high school, the biggest guy I met was like the mayor, but he came there on like business, you know, like he didn't interact with any one of us kids. But a CIO comes, talks to us, and we're like face to face. There's no walls. That experience right there is amazing, and that experience is what YearUp is, right? So you have these top end guys, these CEOs, CIOs. So how do you connect with those CIOs? You can't if you're just going from high school to college, right? Because they don't care about your 4 years degree. You need to have some type of way to connect with them, to network with them, and that's what YearUp is. It's a way to put your feet through the door and your whole body after that, right? We also have a mentorship. My mentor, his name is Young Music, and he's very busy. Very busy. I sent him an email at like 12, and he replied at like 8 o'clock. So the man is very busy, right? But even despite how occupied he is, soon as work ended, he came straight to my house so that we could connect. I mean, that is amazing. Like, that's just awesome, right? The man like took trains, took a bus, came straight to my house, and I mean, the connection we bonded with, I feel like for me, it was because despite him being so burdened by work, he put that all aside just to, you know, connect with me, right? And that's amazing, having that connection with someone you've met. And that was the first time we met, ever, right? So having that connection with someone you've never met before is superb. Then we also have student services, yes. So this, and this student services. So yeah. So the stipend of $225 isn't a lot, but with student services, it's workable because it's not a charity. It's not like a handoff, right? It's something they recognize that you need, right? So in order to feel good, in order to act professional, you gotta look professional, right? So they offer these as a way to help us relieve that burden of paycheck to paycheck. Cause I work downtown, or I used to take the train downtown, and I would look out through like the windows of like the clothes store, and like a tie is like $80.
Yep.
I'm done. No. All right. Yes. So student services, big thing. I would also like to talk about one of my colleagues, Michael Adeleke, right? The man is a visionary. So what he did was he set up two different clubs. He set up book club and he set up investment club, right? With book club, it was all about business. So we talk about business ideas. Like we read so many books on businesses. I feel like a businessman, right? And then with his investment club, what he did was he networked with like CIOs and whatnot, and we took like trips to their offices, and we sat with some of the top guys at like top firms, business firms, and they connected with us, and we talked about like their not the projects that's classified, but like the direction, what they've learned through their experiences, right? So having someone like that, a visionary, connect with you, connect with them, is what YearUp is, right? That whole connection. So then how does this tie in with BAM, right? So at BAM we have a lot of kids like Marcus, right? Kids that are very smart, or kids that are in tough situations, or kids who are just looking for something else, right? Kids who don't want to follow that traditional college route. So how can we offer those kids something else, right? Not just something else, but it's a real alternative. It's maybe even better than your average college route. And that's what YearUp is. So at BAM, you teach these kids these core values, right? Of accountability, of integrity. But then after high school, it's like they're just left
Nothing.
to their own, right? And you may have all these core values, but people don't really care about who you are until they know who you are. And that's where that network can come in. Or you can network until you have that one person to show you with 1,000 other people, right? And that's what YearUp is. So YearUp will be a fantastic way where we can give our BAM seniors who've been through the BAM process, and we know that they're BAM certified, and we know because they're BAM certified that they are accountable. They have integrity and whatnot, right? And we're gonna say that these are top men's, and let's give these top men's top opportunities. And that's what YearUp is for these guys. Top opportunities to show the world that they're able to start at an entry-level position and maybe even one day become like a manager of a firm, because we know that they can, right?
Yep.
Yes.
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 Woo!